Well, hello everybody, it's Joe from JLW Games, coming at you with another cool live stream / video, and hit the music! That's right, we're back in Valley. I just love this epic music that I always seem to start off with. It's actually from Epidemic Sound, which is awesome. I was a little skeptical, yeah, whatever. Unsure if I really wanted to pay to use music. But it's actually not too bad. It's only about $15 a month to be able to use this music in my videos and stuff, and it's actually, just listen to this stuff. It's amazing. Right now I have it under, oh gosh, what is it? The categories of film and the mood of epic. Oh, I love the epic stuff. But anyways, we're back in Valley, and I need to get back into this park because it's been quite a long time, and we've been back to it every so often and everything like that. So if you haven't seen the title already, we are going to be building another roller coaster today, and I'm very excited for that. I'm going to be turning the music lower just a little bit because I can't even hear myself think it's so loud. If I can, okay, so, anyways, here we are, back in Valley. It's actually looking pretty good. It's a lot fuller than what it used to be. So, Epidemic Sound is actually really cool. I do love it. So, here we are, and we got already 4 roller coasters, and we haven't even used that much space, so I've been getting on a little roller coaster crazy with this park lately. You know, we added the wooden coaster, and now I'm actually going to. I kind of wish I would have known about would have had the friction multiplier before I built this wooden coaster, because I could have made it a lot bigger. But it's already really decently sized, and I actually turned down the multiplier just a little bit. For the friction, that way it gets a little bit more speed on some of these, because that's going to be a very handy tool, especially for, you're making that coaster, and, it doesn't quite make it, or it's not quite the speed where you want it, so you can adjust that multiplier so it makes it through to your liking. So, the location of this RMC T-Rex that we're going to be building is going to be over in this general area. This park's going to be like I think I've mentioned before, it's going to be like the Cedar Point of the JLW Entertainment chain. So there's going to be a lot of coasters and a lot of thrill rides. It's going to be all about the rides. That's the main point about this park. It's going to be a lot about rides. And that's, a good one. Westwood was more about theming, very few rides, and just, more of an environment and theming and stuff. This one's going to be more on the thrill attractions, of course. So, question, what's Epidemic Sound? So, Epidemic Sound is a site you can go to. It has royalty-free music that you can use, and you can use it in your YouTube videos and stuff. But it costs about $15 a month. They have a huge selection of music, and I mean huge selection. Whatever you're looking for your films, for background music, whatever you want to use it for. And if you pay that $15 a month, you can use as much as you want, unlimited. I think it's $15. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's about $15 a month, and you can use all their music. It's like, it doesn't sound like it's royalty free. It sounds like true quality, music from like films and anything like that. So it's really good. And I think they add to it all the time. I'm not entirely sure, but anyways. I like the idea of building a children's coaster outside the T-Rex coaster. I don't know, possibly. I do need to get that. I probably will have like a small kid coaster somewhere, a junior coaster somewhere in the park. That way there's something for the little kids, little thrill seekers out there as well. So something I've always been wanting to do is to add an RMC T-Rex in one of my parks. I haven't done it before, and I haven't built many of them, so I wanted to make sure. I wanted to build one. Where is it? There it is. So I would love to see like the Raptor track eventually as well in the game. That'd be awesome. Because I think the T-Rex is cool, because they had it available before there's even one that even exists, so it'd be cool if they had a Raptor as well, eventually. And, with all the RMC stuff they've added to the game, it might be a possibility. You never know. So, anyways, here we go. This is going to be the section here. I want to leave enough area here for some buildings, so we're not going to build it right there. We're going to be in this section on the outside of the parking lot. So we're going into the left side of the park a little bit since we don't have so much there. Alright, so an RMC T-Rex. We've never seen one in real life, so we're going to be basing this kind of off of just kind of theorizing, you know, what would we see on an RMC T-Rex? You know, you can use the Raptor a little bit, but it's kind of like the Raptor on a bigger scale, so. You love the idea of having a park chain. You're consistently creating on some stuff. Thank you. And I don't know if you know, but I have created this fictional park chain called JLW Entertainment, and this is actually the second part of that chain. So it's actually like a Six Flags or Cedar Fair chain that actually will own multiple parks. And that's kind of like the idea. I've always fantasized having some of this stuff, so it's a lot of fun. And one thing I cannot wait for is custom scenarios. I've been saying from the beginning. I don't know if I ever said it out loud on my channel before. I've been saying from the beginning they have needed that custom scenario because adding that just adds so much more to the game. And if you love doing scenarios, and which I do, but I always wanted, you know, kind of some better ones out there. You know, they make some pretty good ones on Planet Coaster, but I wanted like an actual one or different ones that, you know, the community can create. And this just makes it unlimited amount what you can do with this game. So if with a custom scenario, you can go to your you can go to the, oh, where is it? You can actually go to the Steam Workshop and literally just, can't even find that for some reason, and literally just, you know, look for something that looks fun and everything. I think I'm going to try and build some of my own. I think that'll be fun. So I can't wait for that. So we're going to do this just kind of like a normal RMC fashion. We're going to have like a little small drop and then possibly some little bumps and stuff. True RMC fashion. I don't know what an RMC will consist of, so just a little drop out of the station with like a bump or two, and then before heading into the lift hill. Well, that might be actually about good enough right there for what I want. And then I'm going to add a block section with, we'll start the catwalk here. Where am I at in this section? So, the point of this is you're going to be in the parking lot, you're going to be seeing all these awesome rides, and stuff like that. It's going to be cool. So, here we go. Alright, I'm going to change the color scheme too. I don't want to use red because we already have a red coaster in our wing coaster. So we'll find out a color scheme on that. I would assume that these lift hills, since they're steel, maybe probably about a 45-degree lift hill. Maybe 30, I don't know. Or we can cut into the middle and maybe go 35, but I actually can't go doesn't look like you can go further than 30 in the first place because of the limitations. So with that being said, let's talk about a couple of the new features coming into the 1.4 update. A lot of people are disappointed, a lot of people are excited. I'm one of the excited ones. You know, I know a lot of people are disappointed and think there should be more to the anniversary update, but I'm going to be honest, I think they're doing a phenomenal job. Of course, there's still stuff that we want to see in the game, and I think that we'll all get in there eventually. Again, this game's almost only been out for about a year, and they've been giving us free updates left and right, non-stop, and there's not a whole lot of paid content, and if there are, it's not like they're expensive. So, and they're optional. You don't have to buy those. Does these have any, like, no, it looks like it just has straight supports. Maybe if I did longer sections here. But there's a lot of other stuff that a lot of people didn't know that's actually going into the update too. Like, oh, what is it? There's a couple of things that are going into the update that a lot of people didn't know, weren't aware of. Am I using brakes? Why am I using brakes? Oh my gosh, I'm stupid. Okay. So, I thought that was weird that it didn't let me go for a fast forward. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay. Thanks for pointing out my stupidity. Okay. Thank you. Oh, how stupid am I? I thought there was, like, better supports for these, though. These are just, like, straight supports. Alright, so I don't want to go too tall. I know some people have said hyper coaster, but I don't want to do a hyper. I want to do something kind of like normal sized, you know, maybe 130 feet, say. That's pretty good. So I'm going to go kind of based off of the Raptor designs a little bit, maybe, and a little bit of some RMC elements, you know, that you normally see, you know, like different inversions and stuff like that. So, because this should be, this track will be able to do whatever an RMC coaster, a regular RMC coaster, iBox coaster can do, and probably maybe just a little bit more since it's all steel. So, it's always a little bit interesting. So, I think that will be cool. And, anyways, back to the updates. So, we're getting a couple new rides, and we're also getting some pretty decent coasters. We get the Cascade, which is a water coaster. Pretty neat. I'm actually kind of excited for that one. I believe that is the kind of like the design by Mach. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's like Mach Coaster's water coaster. Because I've actually seen a video of a water coaster by Mach, or Mack, however you want to pronounce it. It's pronounced Mach in Germany, and Mack here in the US, but I prefer to say Mach because that's how it's supposed to be pronounced in their company. So, but that'd be cool, and I like that because I would love to see more Mach rides in the game. So that's something I'm excited for. Maybe we'll see those Mach multi-launch coasters, or maybe even the spinning coaster like Time Traveler eventually. I definitely want to see that because it would definitely help me for my recreation at Silver Dollar City when I make Time Traveler. So hopefully, maybe that will get into the game soon. And something that they don't know, a lot of people don't know, is they're actually taking some limitations out on the coaster builder on a lot of stuff. So keep that in mind, that we're going to be seeing some changes to that where you can have limits on and off. So any coaster, almost any coaster, will be able to go upside down, invert, any way you want it. So that's going to be a nice touch and give us a little bit more free limitations. And then, of course, you can put any car that it's appropriate, obviously, on any track. That's something else they're adding. It'll add more flexibility, so you can actually get something more similar to, you know, maybe like Intamin Blitz coaster or something like that, which isn't currently in the game, but hopefully will be in the game someday. And then they're also adding the Strata coaster to the game, which is exciting. So you'll be able to build rides like Top Thrill Dragster and King Ka and all that fun stuff. So excited for that. Those are like the biggest parts, and we got a couple, or we got some flat rides coming as well. So I do hope they keep adding more flat rides and some more generic flat rides. I'd like to see a SNS double launch or double shot. Whatever you call it, those launch towers that you can actually change the, where you can change the height of course, and everything. That'll be nice. Alright, so we're going to have a pretty steep drop on here. Going to resemble a little bit of the Raptor track a little bit. But that's a pretty decently sized drop. I think it was about a 75-degree drop, which isn't too bad. And as of right now, this is the ride. Oh, this park's opening in 2018, so this will be the world's first T-Rex track. So keep that in mind. So in the timeline, anyways, that this will be the first T-Rex track. Not in real life, obviously, but will be the first T-Rex track in existence, technically. So when the first one does actually roll around, you can say, no, JLW Entertainment did that first. of course. And then the update will be available. They announced that the update will be available on the 22nd of this month. So November 22nd is when the update goes live. They also made some management changes with the park staff. I think that's going to be really nice, really neat. So I'm excited for that. And there's a couple other things they're bringing, you know, obviously the scenario editor and everything like that. I'm seeing a lot of complaints about that they're not giving us what we want, but this is stuff that we've been asking for. And, you know, of course, for the smoothing tool to be fixed, they're going to have to completely redo everything on that. That's going to be taking some time and stuff, I think, on their part, because they don't want to release anything until it is perfected. So... and it is free, yes, by the way, for the ones that are wondering. Yes, the anniversary update is free. Thank goodness. And even if it wasn't, I'd still pay money for it. Alright, what do I want to do on my first element here? I'm thinking of... I kind of want to do a dive loop, heading back this direction. Keep it a little compact. It's not going to be super compact, but I want to make it pretty compact. I'm going to throw in as much heartlining as I can, but it's okay. Alright, so Joe's skills at making, you know, custom inversions. I'm going to try and make custom inversions as much as possible in here, so... instead of going in-game. I like to sometimes go lazy and do in-game stuff. Just because I'm lazy. But I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, if it looks terrible and doesn't work out, we'll, of course, might throw in some... Alright, I'm going to do the... we're going to test it out to make sure it flows nicely through it. And, of course, you can always change the multiplier as well. I made this tall enough. 88 feet, 124 foot drop. I might make this a little bit taller. I'm getting a question. Redstone City. That is a kind of like a... I guess someone was watching me play that the other day. Redstone City is more of a... wasn't a park. Just a for fun challenge park that I was doing for fun. It's not really a series or anything going on YouTube or anything, but if it goes well, I might post it on Steam Workshop maybe. I don't know. If I feel it works. Because I do keep Steam anytime I play. I do live stream on Steam, so even if I play for fun. What am I most excited for the 1.4 update? Probably scenario editors and the ability to choose whatever trains you want on each track. That's going to be a game changer, I think. Quite a bit of a game changer, I think, because you're going to be able to really be able to customize what you want on your cars. So if you want a specific train on a different kind of track, you'll be able to do it. I think that's going to be pretty important. So you'll be able to probably do something similar to make it look more like an Intamin Blitz or something. Or if I can get the Gerstlauer Eurofighter track and put spinning cars on that, you know, I could do something similar like a mock spinning coaster or extreme spinning coaster that inverts. Don't know if it'll work very well, but we'll see how that all turns out. All right, this is a very long dive loop. It's a little bit too long. I'm not good at shaping this stuff up. This is why I don't make custom inversions. But hey, I gotta learn someday, right? Hopefully the smooth tool will shape this out a little bit better. At least that's the hopes. With the first element being a dive loop. Here we go. I like dive loops. Dive loops are fun. And you know, I've seen RMC. RMC has done a dive loop before, which was on Goliath, and that was a wooden coaster, or one of their topper track coasters. So they can definitely do dive loops, and especially on a steel coaster, you'd think, right? All right, so I've noticed it's not really a smooth trick, but it kind of keeps the heart line just a little bit. If you go one by one, I'm not using the 4-meter, whatever it is, track method, but I'm still using part of the method to smooth, just to get the shaping up. It's starting to look good. I haven't been paying attention. How fast was it going through this loop? Alright, we're gonna go through here. It's gonna look like a pretty good custom inversion. I'm actually pretty satisfied the way it's turning out. So this will be the 5th coaster we've built so far in the park. I said I would only build about 6, but we'll see. I might add more. Ooh, it's got some pretty decent hang time. I might change the friction multiplier a little bit so it can maneuver through more. I've been turning the multiplier down more so it has a little bit more speed throughout, momentum throughout the whole ride. And it actually adds more excitement to the ride too. Alright, again, we're going to change the color scheme on this too, so. Alright, so this dive loop's starting to look pretty good. I like the shaping of it. Not too bad. But this park's going to get big attendance, so we got to have the T-Rex, not the Raptor. We're interested in the T-Rex track. Alright, that's starting to have some pretty decent shaping to it, though. Gonna have a nice steep drop. A 95-foot tall loop. Actually, this one's a 106-foot tall dive loop. Oh. Would I do a vertical loop on this coaster? Probably not. RMC doesn't do vertical loops, and if they were to do one, it probably would be on their all-steel track, but I don't see them doing a vertical loop on their rides. If there was one coaster type that would do it, that they do, it would probably be one of Raptor or T-Rex. But since I've never seen one, I'm gonna with a vertical loop before, I'm gonna stay away from that for right now. Again, I'm kind of going off of Raptor track a little bit and a little bit of mixed with RMC iBox and wooden coaster elements that they would probably put in. The world's tallest dive loop on the T-Rex. It's the world's tallest, fastest, steepest. It has all the records because it's the first of its kind. The world's first and only RMC T-Rex. See that? It's gonna look good when you're going through the entrance here. You're gonna see the dive loop and the lift hill. And then over here, of course, you have the wooden coaster in the back and the wing coaster. It's gonna look incredible. How tall is Millennium Force? Millennium Force is 310 feet tall. See, everyone else answered too. Trying to test my coaster knowledge, are you? I got it. Throw me coaster questions, and we'll see if I can answer them. I know my coasters pretty well. I wouldn't say I'm like the greatest in the world, but I know quite a bit about most coasters and statistics. I dare you to test me. Even though my coaster count's only like 69 or 70, I have to recalculate since my last trip. I think I added 1, 2. Did I add 2? coasters to it. Alright, I think that's enough smoothing for right now. How tall is Leviathan? Oh man, that one... I don't know much about Leviathan. I know where it's at, and that's the one in Canada's Wonderland, right? And I do know the fastest roller coaster in the world is Formula Rossa, which is 149 miles per hour. Top speed of Top Thrill Dragster, 120 miles an hour, I believe. Unless it goes faster at the bottom of the hill, which I don't know if it does. I don't think it does. What is the newest coaster coming to Dollywood? It's that kiddie coaster. Right? That should be open this year, isn't it? I don't know the name of it. So I'd assume on Top Thrill Dragster, the top speed you hit at the bottom of the hill, I'd imagine. That's what I thought. I thought it got a little bit faster. But as for Leviathan, I can't remember. For some reason, I wanted to say it was a hyper coaster, but I'm pretty sure it's a giga coaster, isn't it? It's over 300. I'm pretty sure. Am I correct that it's a giga coaster? I always get that one confused whether it's a hyper or a giga, because I don't know Leviathan very well. First question, I'm already failing. Alright, so next element. Whistlepunk Chaser, that's the name of the Dollywood kiddie coaster. Alright, so next I want to do an awesome element, one of my favorite elements that I've never actually experienced, and that's a zero-G stall. Alright, let's turn to... yeah, let's go to the right. What type of roller coaster is King Dakar? It is, unless you're talking about, yeah, it's a strata coaster, I know that. But is there a specific name for the Intamin model? And we're gonna go upward and hopefully build this stall successfully. Alright, I want to get 180.1. No. We'll just angle snap that. Angle snap can be nice if you're trying to get a precise number on something. Alright, this is going to be... I'm going to make this a kind of like a unique stall, too. It's going to go down here. And we're going to bank it back to where it goes that way. What is the tallest roller coaster in the world? Well, currently, it's King Dakar, but isn't there one opening in Orlando that's Florida that's going to be like over 500? Or is there one? There's not one. There hasn't been anything taller than King Dakar yet, is there? Don't forget to add airtime. You're right. Definitely correct. Alright, so we're going to start bending it back this way. That's a pretty good stall. It'll stay upside down for quite a long time there. Polar coaster in Orlando is never opening. I heard about that like it got delayed or something like that, and then I don't know. I was like, is this coaster ever opening? I kind of had the same idea. I had that thought process, but I didn't know if it got canceled or not. What coaster had the first Immelman? Oh, heck, I don't know on that one. That's a good one. First Immelman inversion. I don't know. And y'all really are getting me stumped on these. Alright, so we're gonna build this element here. We'll have some airtime moments too. Oh yeah, the fishhook coaster. That was like Aerodynamics' last idea before they were completely gone. Alright, let's smooth this out a little bit. It is very hot in this room once again. This will be an interesting element. I think it'll be like... It's kind of like almost like a 0G roll, but it's got that stall in there. You can see that. But it kind of bends back the other direction to point it towards somewhere else. So I feel like it's an element that could exist, but I haven't seen it anywhere. It's kind of like a unique 0G stall, in a way. What is the largest amusement park no longer in operation? P.S. It's not Celebration City. Well, Celebration City wasn't big, so I wouldn't expect it to be that in the first place. Maybe Six Flags New Orleans. That's all I can really think of. I don't know many theme parks that are not in operation. So you got me there. I know Six Flags New Orleans is no longer in operation. I didn't know how big that one was, though. I've seen it in person. I went by it, anyways, when I had a trip to New Orleans. And we actually went by it, and I saw it. It's kind of a fun little stall there. It's not a super long stall, but it'll be pretty fun. Can you make Twisted Timbers or Hang Time? I mean, I probably could. I never found myself great at recreating coasters. Sometimes I don't care for doing it sometimes because a lot of people judge you definitely a lot when you're recreating, because especially those people that know those rides very well, sometimes they're just like, no, you're off by ½ centimeter. And I'm just like, come on. You know. Sometimes that's why I avoid certain recreations. I mean, I don't get that issue very often, but sometimes I do, and I'm just like... It's like, I know I'm not perfect at recreating stuff, but the best way to get better at it is by actually doing it, and then people judge you... Judge it very, very seriously. Alright, I'm just like going through and smoothing these very, very much so it's nice and smooth. If that makes sense. Because I'm trying to keep a little bit of heartlining in it, maybe a little bit. Oh, there's not much there. Even if it's just a little bit, it's okay. But I'm not doing like the full 4-meter method, because I don't really care for that method anymore. I tried it. And I believe my first recreation was Valraven. And I'm thinking about getting back into the recreation series. I mean, I've been working a lot on Silver Dollars. I do Silver Dollar City's recreation, but I wish we had slightly bigger worlds to build in, and I could actually fit Silver Dollar City in one park. That's the issue I'm having, is trying to fit it in one world. And it's not like the largest park in the world either, so... But I'm trying to fit it in there. Still waiting for a collab with Silverette. Well, I have like not even 4,000 subs, and he's at over 100,000, so boy, would I love to. I've thought on occasions messaging him and just seeing if he would even message back, but I don't know his schedule, and he lives across seas, so it'd definitely be interesting at what time we'd be talking to each other. Alright, so there we go. First two elements. Now it's time for a little pop of airtime. You still should. I guess it's also always worth a shot. Definitely be an interesting collaboration. I feel like I could learn a lot too. What has the most airtime that is open? Well, I was going to answer Steel Vengeance until you said that is open. I couldn't actually answer you on that one. I'm just going to take a wild guess. Wild guess and say Steel Dragon 2000. That's just going to be my wild guess. Sometimes I feel like the airtime duration statistics on your results on Planet Coaster aren't very realistic. Because I'll build this coaster with like tons of airtime. Obviously it has tons of airtime, and it will still have very low duration of airtime. Not even the Steel Vengeance creation that they posted is even accurate. It doesn't say 27 seconds of airtime. It says like 8 or 10. Okay, there's a nice little air ejector airtime spot right there. Alright, we already have 2 inversions. I feel like we could have around 3 to 4 inversions on the ride. Maybe somewhere around there. Most of that is open is the Voyage. Oh yeah, Voyage, that makes sense. That has a lot of airtime. Never been on it, but... What is the tallest Giga Coaster? Well, that would be Fury 325, I believe. I don't think there's anything taller than that, Giga-wise. Because I know that has the largest lift hill. My best coaster pun? I don't know. I don't know any off the top of my head. I don't even know if I know a coaster pun. I'm so excited at the park I work at because I accepted a really fun position that I can't wait to be into next season. Some of you might know what it is, but I'll leave that to all the people that want to speculate. Because if you didn't know already, I do work at a theme park. And boy do I love working at a theme park. Alright, I'm going to do a nice little roll here. That'll be fun. What is this, my 3rd inversion? Yeah. Hopefully I can get this low enough. I think I will. So probably a pretty fast roll, so the train will probably roll through it pretty quickly. What is my best coaster? In my opinion, the best coaster that I've ever built on Planet Coaster? That's a good question. What is my favorite coaster that I've built? I know for the longest time it was definitely Iron Ghost at Westwood. I loved that coaster. I was very proud of that one. You know, I think my building skills have gotten a little bit better since then. So, have I built any that's better than that? It's hard to get away from Iron Ghost, because I love RMCs. Iron Ghost is definitely one of my favorites that I've built. I think I'm going to have to go with Iron Ghost, even though I built it about a year ago, probably, almost. And my building skills have gotten better, but overall, I just love the way it looks. And I just love it a lot. It's one of my favorites. What are your guys' favorites? What are that I've built? What are your guys' favorites coasters that I've built? Not trying to be a little self-centered here, but I'm curious to what you guys think. I like hearing some feedback of some of the best creations I've made. Yeah, this will be a fun roll. It doesn't go through it super fast like I thought it would, but it goes through it pretty quickly. Or a pretty good speed. It's a nice roll. It's a beautiful roll. Trying to keep some heart lining, but you should do a live stream where your fans tell you a type of coaster to build and you have 30 minutes to build it. Interesting. I've done the 30-minute challenge, but that was of my choice, but for you guys to tell me what to build, that would be kind of interesting. And I did an hour challenge too. Are you going to put something in between the helix? So I would say you're probably talking about right here or right here. I don't know. This turn right here? I don't know, maybe. I'm trying to keep this coaster, I want to keep this coaster pretty compact. Kind of like a Raptor, almost. It's going to be a mixture between a Raptor and an iBox track kind of ride. So I'm using a lot of the Raptor because I know that's a similar track. Alright, how much heartline does that have? Not really any, but what can you do? So the smooth tool pretty much gets rid of it. Sometimes with something I like to do sometimes if I want to try and gain a little bit of heartline is I'll take this and I'll just drag it over a little bit. I'll use the smooth tool, but try to get a little bit of the shaping and then just smooth it out a little bit, a pinch. But not too much to where it gets rid of it, but that way you get a little bit of heart lining. But you can't smooth it too much or it'll get rid of it. So we'll go ahead and, whoops, wrong button. I meant to do this one. So we'll move it over just a little bit. Just trying to create a pinch of heartline in there. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's got a little bit. Alright, just a pinch more. See how well that flows through there. Pretty well. It flows through it pretty nicely. So far, I'm liking this design. Liking the layout so far. Quite a bit. Now, it's probably not going to be the longest coaster in the world. But, yeah, see? You can see a little bit of heartline going in that. Alright, I'm going to put another pop of airtime in here. So a little airtime moment hill. You know, RMCs aren't known for being ridiculously long rides, with the exception of Steel Vengeance will be pretty long. It'll be a 2.5 minute long ride. That's like the longest RMC ever. Most of them are usually around 1.5 minutes. I think I'm going to change the multiplier just a little bit so has a little bit more momentum going through these elements. See that burst of airtime? Boom. That excitement goes up. And you get the roll. Another burst of airtime. Alright, so let's turn the multiplier down just a little bit. Friction multiplier. Let's go down to, let's try 7.7. And we'll get kind of a feel of how that's going to turn out for us. Alright, where do we want to go from here? Kind of want to go back to this area. If I could work at any coaster company, which one would it be? Another good question. I'd probably have to say RMC. Definitely. That's what I would go with. I think RMC would be a fun one to work at. RMC, maybe B&M or Intamin, I don't know. One of those three, but I think RMC is at the top of my list if I was to choose one to work at. Alright, let's see if we can't pop over the this track here a little bit. Maybe like a wave turn, kind of. Alright, that's tall enough, so we should be good. Kind of want to go 90 degrees here. Trying to keep that support there. I don't want to get rid of the supports. We got a nice little 90-degree turn here over the track. Alright, I kind of want to see what we're at on speed-wise. I love having the multiplier now. It just helps out a lot. Do I work at a theme park in Missouri? Yes, I do. I'll at least answer that one. There we go. Let's go through and smooth this turn out just a little bit. Wish Joe made coasters in real life. I should be a design engineer for roller coasters, right? Nah, I don't have the experience. I'd be in the job interview like, so do you have any experience designing roller coasters? Yeah, I've played Planet Coaster. Of course I do. You think that's a legitimate resume there? Sounded good to me. Alright, just a couple smooth here. We're gonna head back in this direction. Alright, let's see how it's going through now. After we change the friction multiplier. Looks like it's going just a little bit faster. Keeping more of that momentum. Through the roll. Hop of airtime. Nice. No Limits 2 Pro would have been better. I own it, and I've played No Limits before. I've made some creations on No Limits 2. I've been thinking about doing going back to No Limits 2 a little bit, but I don't know. speaking of backyard coaster on No Limits 2, I got so many dislikes on that video because people would go into the video thinking it was a real-life backyard roller coaster. And people disliked the video, even though the title said No Limits 2, but, and then they said, every single comment said, fake, 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 fake. I'm like, so I started commenting saying, yeah, it says No Limits 2. Well, we don't know what that is. That was their comment, or their reply, and I'm like, okay. I guess the thumbnail looked very convincing. And the thumbnail was of the actual... Right, I thought it was kind of hilarious that it got dislikes because people thought it was an actual roller coaster in the thumbnail. Because it said Backyard Roller Coaster, No Limits 2 Creation, or something like that. I think I called it Backyard Giant or something like that. And I claimed it to be the largest backyard roller coaster in the world. It was just kind of like a little for fun No Limits 2 thing. But it was hilarious that people were disliking that just because they thought it was going to be they were expecting a real backyard roller coaster. And literally every single comment was fake. Fake. This is fake. I'm like, it's not, I mean, I'm like, the coaster's not real, but it's a real creation that I made. Ooh, that's going to be a head chopper there. I'm just going to have some low to the ground kind of moments here. Low to the ground moments. And just some final pops of airtime, I think. I think that should clear it. Okay. I don't have the collisions on, so I don't want to get rid of the support. It looks naked without it. I would have to bend it that much. Just got to fit it in there properly. There we go. Ooh. I'm going to go right through that pathway there. Alright, let's go back and smooth before we get too far. Pause. I want to see how close this is. Alright, so if they had their hands fully extended, would they be able to touch that track? That's pretty close. We're gonna say it's good. If anything, I can raise it just a little bit, but... Alright, I don't think I've smoothed this part back here yet. Alright, we're almost through the layout. We're working our way back to the station, so the first part, you know, it's a little laid out. You know, you got some inversions, and then you get into more of the airtime moments, and that's what we're doing right now. More airtime stuff. And then it just stays low to the ground. Some tight turns and stuff like that. It'd be really cool. As you can see, like, you can see the part where it's high off the ground and then it just goes and stays low to the ground for the rest of the ride. Pretty neat. Pretty interesting layout. Pretty compact for the most part. Goes over and under itself quite a few times. Alright, let's move this around back over here. We'll smooth this final turn out just a pinch more. And I think we'll be good. And you know, a good coaster has to have lots of airtime. Alright, so now I gotta maneuver my way through this. This is gonna be interesting. Alright, I want to do my best to try and maneuver through the supports as well, so it doesn't remove any of those. We're gonna head towards this taller section. Then we should have time to do some more airtime hills here. So we're gonna head up here. Nice little twists and turns. But yeah, excited for the new update with all the changes to where you can actually get rid of more limits on the rides, certain rides. So that's going to be fun. More rides will be able to go, I think, have steeper drops. I think it was one of the RMCs that you can go up to 85 degrees now. Or something. I don't exactly know which ride it was, but I remember reading it. Might not have been an RMC, but I think it was. Alright, so we got some twists and turns. There we go. Look at that mess of track right there. I like it. Alright, we'll use a block section here as we work a little bit further backwards. I'm going to try and keep room for a transfer track. JLW Games looks too intense for me. Interesting. Alright, I think I'll have the transfer right behind the station itself. And then we'll have we'll go ahead and make a turn here. And have a brake run as well. So we will hit the friction brakes. Angle these just slightly. Alright, one more. That'll work. Now we're going to go back to regular track. And pretty much what's left is to try and connect the dots. Alright, we're going to have an interesting little turn here. Alright, let's continue the test so I can see where the train's going, how well it maneuvers through Alright, we gotta get up to 17 feet to get to the brake run. My first initial thought was to just do a helix up to here. We'll go under the brake run here. And maybe even throw in a couple more hops of airtime. Looks like we still have some pretty decent speed. Quite a bit of still got some decent momentum. Not a whole lot, but at least for what I saw. We're gonna twist it back. Will I be making a transfer track in the video? Probably. All right, I got an idea here. We're gonna try and go above the dive loop here. Even create a little bit of a head chopper as you go out through the dive loop. That's what that's gonna do. We got still decent speed heading into the brake run, which is good. Come on, drag it down. I should probably keep this banked since we're gonna still be heading that way. You know, I'll go ahead and try that idea and see if I can't do a roll into the brakes. See how that will work. It's gonna have to be a tight roll though. We'll see how that works though. I don't know how well this is gonna work. I thought it was worth a shot. See, Smooth Tool's gonna get rid of that if I do that. But we're still I'm gonna see if I can't fix this to make it doable. It's a very tight roll at the top there. Might see if I can do a heart line too. Just a little bit. Alright, we'll take the suggestion there and start the roll earlier. See if we can do that. We'll start it further back here now. Alright, so now we're gonna be upside down right over the dive loop here. The sky's so far away tonight, apparently. Alright, because the exit of the roll was good. It's just the beginning was a little tight there. Alrighty. Start the smooth process and see if that helps. It's definitely better. It's not going at a super fast speed, so should be able to make a tighter maneuver here without putting too much stress on the track. Ah, that looks pretty good. Speed-wise, it looks great. Alright, now we're able to do that without it getting rid of our inversion. There we go. With some smoothing and adjustments, I think this is gonna work. Be definitely cool to have two trains running through here, but that's not going to be possible with the blocking system, so have one go over through here and one on the dive loop. Alright, so we have a complete circuit now. I mean, it's not a super long coaster, but it's got a pretty decent length to it. You can see where I started staying low to the ground, that's for sure. Pretty much after the stall, I started staying low to the ground and just get a lot of ejector airtime and keeping the ride moving quick. Making some tight turns and fast maneuvers. A lot of RMCs do that. A lot of head chopper elements too. Man, those brakes don't slow it down too much. Alright, so I'd say we need to smooth out this just a little bit more, try and create more of a slight more of a heart line, which it's got a pretty decent one. Just make it just a little bit better. Already our 5th roller coaster. Man, I've been streaming for over an hour already. Does not feel like it. When you want to go deep into detail on a layout, sometimes it takes that long. And I'm proud of myself, I didn't use any in-game elements. Sometimes I cheat. But today, I used custom, and everything's custom made. Pretty proud of the dive loop. I like the dive loop. I kind of like the 0G stall. Kind of what it is. I could make my own element name for that, probably. I bet I could. Alright, and get all this settled out here. Almost feel like I could make another tiny airtime hill here. This little straight piece of track. Maybe just a little one. Press the smooth button. Just like a little bump. Kind of like on Steel Vengeance after its first drop. Might create just a pinch of airtime. Maybe. All right. All right, so I was gonna go down here and just adjust this just a pinch, see if I can't heartline it just a pinch more. At least try to. Alright. Alright, let's see if I can adjust that one. Alright, it's a little bit better shape. Alright, we're also going to need to come up with a color scheme for this. It's almost to 6.0 excitement, so it's not just under that green. Let's see what the results ended up being. Track length of 3,663 feet. Isn't too bad. 59 miles an hour. Feel like I want to get it up to 60 at least, but that's not too bad. Biggest drop of 109 feet. Number of inversions 4. Excuse me, and airtime count 2, total airtime duration 1. See, I feel like this ride has more than 1 second of airtime, and more than 2 seconds, or 2 airtime moments. Like, I feel like that's just inaccurate in my opinion, but that's one of my gripes on that, on the statistics, on the results, is I feel like the airtime is just kind of like inaccurate. All right. And that's a pretty interesting, nice compact layout. Pretty compact for a T-Rex coaster. Alright, let's take a look at some different color schemes and see what we like the best. For some reason, I had the neon green stuck in my mind. Alright, this is the actual track. My gosh, it's like Jacksepticeye. Look, it's Christmas. Not really. The neon green and yellow always has a good combination. Right now, we're just kind of skimming through them. Let's see. That's just like an option there. Let's see what other stuff looks like. A white track. Ooh. Let's see what the blue is. Oh gosh. Maybe not yellow. Oops. I'm just getting options out there. And let's see. There's blue and black. Blue and red. Neon green and blue is not too bad of it. And the gray looks pretty good too. There's so many suggestions coming in. I don't know what to do. The neon with the gray track doesn't look bad. That green just like will pop out though. Remember, this is towards the entrance too. It's got to look good. It's got to pop out saying, "Wow, that's awesome." I like the gray too. Gray looks pretty decent. I thought the yellow supports looked pretty good too. Kind of like Cheetah Hunt, like someone said. I got orange, red, and yellow. Let's see what this looks like. It's hard to find a good orange. That's more brown there. Okay, there's a pretty decent orange. If he did like red. Oh gosh, it's like fire. Orange and purple. Oh. Oh gosh, that purple though. Look at that purple. Oh, that definitely pops out there. We need like more of a neon orange though. I don't know, that pops out so much. Oh gosh. Neon green and purple. Actually, that's not too bad. For some reason, I like the neon green, though. I do like the neon green track. Teal tracks. Huh. And the gray supports look great too. I do like gray supports. And that looks pretty good. It's more like an aqua color. What's closer to teal? Teal's kind of like in between blue and green, isn't it? Yin Yang coaster, black and white. I think I'm going to keep the gray supports for sure. I like the gray supports. And then the track's what's going to really pop. Alright, so we got neon green here. There's also a dark green. There's blue. Blue looks pretty decent with it. And of course, you got kind of like that teal, aqua-ish kind of color. Alright, how neon do we want to go? Kind of want it like a brighter green, but not so bright it's going to be like, oh gosh. But the neon did really pop out a lot. I like kind of like that. I don't know, the neon green is just kind of sticking with me. Alright, now we gotta figure out the detail color here. Can make it all green, or we can go maybe gray with it too. I'm kind of leaning towards gray on that one. That's pretty bright. Alright, now we gotta make the train colors here. I almost want to go in between blue and green. Maybe like an aqua blue. Which doesn't look too bad on it. I don't know. Let's see what black looks like. Ooh, that kind of looks good. How about the white details on that? What if we made that... I don't want to make it green. See what gray would look like. I mean, the white looks pretty sharp on the trim there, on that. And these would be... maybe make those gray. Alright, I'm liking that. And there you have it. A RMC T-Rex. And we've worked with RMC before in Westwood with Iron Ghost. And now we're here. No exception here in Arrow Valley, so. Everyone's throwing out names. I don't think I'm going to name it today for right now, but I do kind of like the idea of the radioactive theme, though. Kind of makes sense with the color. I love this green, though. I do love, like, neon green. It's a really nice color. Especially if you want to make a roller coaster pop. I like the overview of this park so far. It's going to be nice. Alright, so if you haven't seen the park lately, let's take a look here. We got, of course, Steel Eagle here. The first coaster we worked on. This is a B&M winged coaster, which complements Reliant nicely. Goes over the restaurant here. And we got a balloon ride. And it's just a very interactive coaster, so you can walk around and get some really good views of it. It's got a winged over drop. One of the tallest wing coasters in the world. I think it's just a little bit shorter than, was it Wild Eagle at Dollywood? So, but pretty good wing coaster. And then over here, we have a classic Aero style kind of coaster, which is unnamed at the moment. I wanted that classic Aero coaster that goes over the pathway, kind of like Corkscrew at Cedar Point. Pretty neat. Has some custom Aero supports here as well, which is nice. Nice little compliment to that. And it's a nice little Aero coaster. Then we have a spinning coaster as well. I don't know if I named this one yet. Nope, I didn't. Just a little spinning coaster, not too much. Then we have the GCI wooden coaster. And I made it a very large GCI. In fact, how tall is it? The lift is 177 feet. And it's almost to the 6.0 excitement rating as well. It is pretty large. What are the test results on this thing? Duration of 112 seconds. Not too bad. 4,747 feet of track. 70 miles per hour. Wow. Pretty good. And the drop is 151 feet. Airtime count of 5. Again, I don't think these are accurate. It's a nice, pretty nice large-scaled GCI coaster. Again, this is before I had the multiplier, so I probably could have made it longer, knowing that, because the wooden coaster friction was so low, or was so pretty bad end game before they made the option to where you could change it. Which I'm glad they did make that option now. It's got a nice little queue line over here for it. And of course now, our fifth coaster is our RMC T-Rex, or RMC T-Rex track. This track's been in the game forever, even in the alpha days, now that I think about it. Which is incredible to think about. Alright, so we're going to go in here. And, okay. I can make the transfer building, transfer track right there, or the building for the transfer right there. That'll work. It's gonna make a very basic station. Let's see what we want to use. What do we have here? I kind of like a gray building. Oh, I thought that was going to be tall enough. Alright, next side. Alright, let me figure out the entrance and exit here. Exit in the middle. And we'll edit the building once more. We need to get a roof going here. And make a concrete section here. Let's go ahead and change the grid size so I can put these in here as well. They're gonna have fighting textures. Looks like it. Alright, that'll work for now, and we'll figure, if not, we'll figure out more of it here shortly. Alright, so the exit is going to go. This is the stuff I really need to think about before I actually do anything. Okay. Select grid because I want it to be like that. Deselect grid. Have some stairs heading out this direction. We're gonna head back this way, and we'll have the exit going underneath. Whoa. Nope. Alright, looks like will we fit under there properly? Yeah, that'll work. We'll head under. This way we'll come out here. And then for the queue line, we'll make this work. Deselect the grid. Alright, and then that'll go into the queue line and everything. So for right now, the station is our priority. If we can find pieces we need. Alright, so we're gonna get some walls built in here. Find the color, which is this one. Change the grid height because it needs to be changed. Alright, before I go too far, I want to get some of these pieces in here, blocking that view. That way the exit looks more like a tunnel. Mm-hmm. Alright, we'll make this look more just concrete. I'll get rid of that. And then we can adjust this to where we need it. There we go. Alright, and you got this little tunnel to walk through, and that will do that, or work well. And then we can enclose this up. And now we're going to find an arch. That will go right here. And work properly. Put them on both sides. I'm actually going to put one here. And one here. And build walls around it. Bathroom. Okay. So this will all be enclosed. Alright, that'll work. Yay for figuring out the exit. Alright, so now we just need, we're gonna have to cover that piece up right there. And this should be fairly good. There we go. At least the bottom of the station is gonna be all nice there. How to select more than one? Yes. Just hold control. If you hold control, you can select multiple pieces within the building. As long as it's within the building, though. You have to be inside a building to do that. If it's just normal scenery items, you can't do that unless you use the multi-selection tool. Alright, so now let's take a look at some columns. I want to use, kind of want to use the panel column. Change the color of it to have a very nice green color. Kind of matching the track. It's got to match the track. We're going to make a unique looking kind of station. Even though I said this was going to be a simple station. I'm going to select this piece. This will kind of be that barrier over here. so no one falls off the side. Just change the side up here, and we can make that go further out like so. And then we'll also make a little bit of an operator's booth, just like that. Excellent. Alright, so now for the roof. I really wish you could recolor the slanted, or the curved roofs here. But that is not an option, because I don't want it to be blue. What is this roof? So, let's use... I guess we'll just use a normal roof. I guess that can work, but first, let's use some roof trims. We're gonna go mold. And just kind of connect the dots here. That way, we're kind of outlined here. These will go across, kind of like supports, almost. That's a pretty low roof, isn't it? But I think it fits pretty well. Might want to raise the roof just a little bit. Let's go about right here. Yeah. Alright, so that means we're gonna raise this up, and we'll just place an extra column in here. Oops. There we go. And let's place some inside supporting columns as well. Oh, wait, there's more support. Yeah, we can put one there. Alright, I like it. I'm thinking about having a flat roof here. In all honesty. Do a flat roof. Let's place this above. And then we'll build a small wall on top of it. Wonder why Celebration City was abandoned. Because of financial issues. If you didn't know, the ones that owned Silver City owned Celebration City. And their original plan was for guests to visit Silver City in the morning, and then at night they would go visit Celebration City because it was open later in the day and at night. And plan didn't really work well, and they ended up kind of competing with themselves, so didn't really work for them, so they decided to close it. means I should move this up one. Just the corner pieces. Alright, that's good there. This will be an interesting station, for sure. Then we will place one of these on top. Just to kind of finish it off. Did I do a double layer somewhere? Or overlay or something? I must have. Okay, so that's just kind of like the basic shape of what the station's going to be. More details to add and stuff, of course. And it will look good. Kind of like the inside of it. Pretty neat. That's going to be a pretty stinking good looking roller coaster overall. And then we're going to have to make all this area over here properly. Let's go ahead and save it. So probably on the next episode we're going to fill in that empty space over there. And in between the coaster and the path. Probably need to build the main street buildings here. And then this will all just kind of connect to each other. And then we'll move on from there. That's kind of like the next plan. Yeah, that's a big section there. So let's see. Select our pathway. Go ahead and get rid of the railings for now. Alright, so we're going to connect this with the edge. Oh gosh, didn't mean to do that like that. There we go. And to make it feel larger, we're just going to select you. And kind of create a second pathway alongside this. And we'll use a trick, and we're just going to make sections here that are connected. And we'll make this flow together very well by smoothing some paths out. Alright, and then those will be nice sections for planters and stuff. Leaving room for our main street buildings to go right here, and possibly something right behind those, possibly. And that rounds that out just a little bit better on this side. Once we get those buildings built, it'll look pretty good. Alright, so Arrow Valley. JLW Entertainment's new park opening in 2018. A lot of people say I need to get my butt moving if I want this open by next season or in the proper area, but people don't realize that I'm going to have a lot of free time in January, and that's really when I start building a lot, and when I really am going to be working on this a lot. So I actually got a more early start on this park than I did in Westwood, because I knew there's going to be more coasters and stuff. But then again, with less theming, it makes the areas a little bit less complex to worry about, because I just have to make more generic stuff more than anything. It doesn't have to be super themed, so that's the one easier part about this park so far. Okay, so after, so far, we have 6 different roller coasters so far in this park. I said I wanted at least 6 in this park, so who knows what we're going to be building next. It needs more thrill rides. I do agree with that. But we do have some, couple of variety of flats starting to go in. And we're going to add more to that. And it does need some more thrilling flat rides. We don't have any, we have more family thrill ride, or family flat rides at the moment. We need to add a little bit more than that. Now, I know everyone's so excited. Everyone wants to ride the rides, but just kind of like a general rule that I have on my channel is I like to keep something in suspense and something for you guys to look forward to, and that's the cinematic shots and actually the POVs or something that gets saved for last after the park is complete. So I apologize on that. I know I get a lot of backlash sometimes from making that decisions of not writing anything or showing any POVs off until everything's completely done. And I do get a lot of hate off of that, but I only do that because I like there to be something to look forward to in the future videos on the cinematic videos and all the POV videos and stuff. That's just what I think. So it's just like my own personal philosophy thing. Alright, block section, and let's make sure we have 2 trains on the tracks. Oh, something also that's coming with a new update that I don't know if you guys knew that I read, is that you're going to be able to put custom text on the trains. So if you want to name your train, or if you named your ride, and you can actually put the name of the ride or the park on your trains. So custom text on the trains is coming, which is pretty cool. I'd love to see maybe someday custom billboard functionality with the trains as well, so you can put your own logos and stuff. Oh, look at the rides in the background in the station. That looks so good. You see the wooden coaster. An off-ride POV. Okay, since I guess I can be okay with that one. So let's go ahead and do interest. We'll just get a side of the car here. Lots of details still to add to this coaster, of course, but let's kind of look around it. Oh, the park is going to look so brilliant. There's going to be so many rides in it. And then some of the new coasters you will be, or actually with the update, you will be able to turn off kind of like more limitations, so some coasters will be able to invert, and as far as I know, you'll be able to invert traditional wood coasters as well, which is interesting, I thought. Man, from this view, it looks so like unsmooth, though. I will say that, the off-ride view. Oh, head choppers. Comes that final inversion at the end. Wow. I actually want to edit those brakes so they're a little bit more forceful, because it just yanks around that final turn. This brake run needs to be adjusted just a little bit. Target speed, let's turn that down as far as we can. Deceleration rate, we'll turn that up so it actually slows it down faster. Alright, let's do a cinematic shot. Cinematic view. Give me a hint of where you work at. Well, it's in Missouri. That's for sure. And I do work at a roller coaster. There's another hint. And, oh. What kind of laptop do you need for playing a coaster? Probably a pretty powerful one. If you want to run it a certain way. I still might make it some adjustments on some of these. Some of these shots are beautiful though. No. And you got that final roll at the end. There we go. Those brakes work a little bit better. And as far as I do work at a roller coaster, I will be working at a different, still a roller coaster, but I'll be working at a different roller coaster next year. I've been at the same roller coaster for 5 years, and it's been one heck of a ride. And I'm excited to get to a different one next year, which I'm excited for as well. Reconnection successful. As for what kind of laptop, I have no idea. I'm not an expert at laptops. I'd be, oh gosh. For laptop, I really don't know about laptops. I wish I could help you a little bit further. All I know is it probably needs to be a pretty powerful laptop if you want to run decent graphics. But I'm not a huge whiz on like laptops and specs and everything, so probably asking the wrong person. I mean, I run a GTX 1080 Ti on my graphics card, and I don't even know what my processor is, but that's my next thing on my list to upgrade is my processor. As the coaster you will be working at on steel or wood. Currently wood, but next year will be steel. If that makes any sense. But I do hope to still stay cross-trained on the one that I'm on now, so I'll still be working the coaster I work on now occasionally. What was I going to do? I was going to change the departure interval. Let's try 30 seconds to start out. That way they don't stop on top of the lift hill. Alright, just beautiful. Alright, I'm excited for this park to start unfolding like it is. The last couple of episodes, we've gotten a lot done into the... we've gotten a lot done just detail-wise and really just expanding the park into something bigger and better and awesome. Oh, good question. What's my favorite coaster in the game? In the game? That's a good question. I mean, I'm a sucker for RMCs, so probably the hybrid or the topper track. If I had to choose one of these two. They're pretty similar, but... Another thing I'm excited for is I'll be able to put the RMC trains on the wooden topper track. That would be nice. Definitely nice to have. And I'm just excited for the custom text on them. But if anyone has followed my channel for a while, you'll know that I do work at an RMC coaster. And one thing that sucks about working at an RMC is you have to have a pretty decent upper body, because at least the one I work at, I don't know if the others are the same, but those bars are very, very heavy, and the panel tells you has not opened and you have to lift every single bar on the train, and they all have to be up at the same time. Otherwise, the panel will say has not opened, and you can't send the train out again. You have to raise all the bars. So you can imagine slower days. We are going to be lifting those lap bars very heavily. But I've worked at this same ride for 5 years, and I've enjoyed every second of it. But I have to say, I am starting getting tired of those restraints. Just because they're a pain to deal with as a worker. Especially on slow days. Busier days are just fine, but on those slow days, they're really bad. But my favorite coaster that I've ever ridden currently is Maverick at Cedar Point. Again, my coaster count's not as big as it should be, but I have been to Cedar Point. That's my favorite ride at Cedar Point, and Cedar Point's like the biggest park I've been to, so... Okay, but with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. We got the main thing I wanted to get built. I was hoping to get the transfer track into it, but I don't really want to just yet, so we'll get back to that. When we come back on the next episode, we'll probably be filling in the space between the coaster and the pathways, and we'll probably build these buildings as well. So, and more scenery anyways. Mac restraints are very easy, especially the newer ones. And yes, I know that, and I'm going to be very excited for next year because of that reason. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe for more awesome content like this, and I will catch you guys in the next live stream. Have a great day, even cooler tomorrow. It's been awesome, and I can't wait to see you guys next time.